All right, so today we are going to be dividing fractions. So it's pretty similar to multiplying fractions, but there is just one key step or key phrase really that we need to remember. So let's just say I have 1/2 divided by 3/4. Okay, so when we divide fractions, really we're just going to make it a multiplication problem. So what we really need to remember is we're going to keep, change, flip. KCF. Sometimes people like to say KFC to help them remember. But try to remember we're going to keep the first fraction the same. So I'm going to keep 1/2. I'm going to change the symbol. So we have division. I'm going to change it to its opposite, multiplication. And I'm going to flip the last fraction. So when we flip the last fraction, it's really our reciprocal. It's called the reciprocal. So again, when you flip a fraction over, so if I have 3/4, it becomes 4/3. Okay, that is the reciprocal of 3/4. Okay, it's just the upside down version or the flipped version of the fraction. Okay, so we started out with 1/2 divided by 3/4, and we did keep, change, and flip. And now we have 1/2 times 4/3. So now we have a simple multiplication problem with fractions. So just like before, we're going to multiply across. 1 times 4 gives us 4, and 2 times 3 gives us 6. We're left with 4/6. Well, the only thing about this is we can simplify it. So one way that I know to simplify it is because it's divisible by 2. So remember, if your numbers are even, you can divide by 2. Anytime you have an even numerator and a denominator, make sure you're dividing by 2. Okay, so I know 4 is even and I know 6 is even. So I'm going to go ahead and divide by 2 on the top and bottom. And 4 divided by 2 gives me 2. And 6 divided by 2 gives me 3. So I'm left with 2/3 as my final answer. Okay, so let's try to do another one really quick. So let's see if I have 1/10 divided by 3/4. Right, so I have 1/10 divided by 3/4. So remember, we're going to do keep, change, flip. Okay, keep, change, and flip. Okay, so I'm going to keep my first fraction the same. So I'm going to keep 1/10. I'm going to change my operation to the inverse. So I'm going to change division to multiplication. And I'm going to flip my last fraction to give me the reciprocal. So the reciprocal of 3/4 would be 4/3. Okay, so now again, same thing. We're just going to multiply across like normal. So I have 1 times 4, that gives me 4. And I have 10 times 3, and that gives me 30. So once again, this fraction is divisible by 2, which means I can divide by 2. I know that because I know that 4 can be evenly split in half, and I know 30 can evenly be split in half or divided by 2. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. So I'm going to divide 4 by 2, and I'm going to divide 30 by 2. 4 divided by 2 gives me 2, and 30 divided by 2 gives me 15. So my final answer would be 2/15. Okay, I know I can divide 2 by 2, but I can't evenly divide 15 by 2. I can divide 15 by 3, but I can't evenly divide 2 by 3. So that's why we would not go any farther, and our final answer would be 2/15.